Well, Valentine's Day is nearly here, and though many associate the day with roses and a romantic dinner, you could probably skip the dinner and forget the flowers if you have chocolate. But chocolate is getting a lot more expensive these days. I mean, a lot more expensive. And joining us to talk about the sticky spot that leaves chocolate makers in is Daniel Terry, who is co-founder of the Denman Island Chocolate Company. Daniel, good morning.
Good morning, Gregor.
Nice to hear from you. What about chocolate and cocoa? How expensive is the key ingredient right now? What are you facing cost wise these days?
Yeah, just a little backgrounder. Cocoa which is the raw ingredient, is traded on a futures market. I think it's out of Boston, and so it's there's price per metric ton, and this is kind of an across the board price, and that metric has more than doubled in the past year.
Wow.
And it's at historic highs, and every day it gets a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And the forecast is, who knows, but the forecast is that it's likely to get even worse. And the factors leading up to this they're kind of unusual. Most of the world's cacao is grown in Ivory Coast in West Africa, and they've had problems to do with climate. No surprise there. El Nino is kind of wreaking havoc with that. And also there's a fungus called black pod, which is affecting yields. And thirdly, and this is kind of a good thing, I feel, is that the Ivorian government is trying to pivot to a certain extent away from producing cacao as an export crop to producing food for their citizens. So that's a great thing, but it means that the price of chocolate is going way up. And none of our cocoa that goes into our products actually comes from Africa, but it's kind of a global effect. So this is going to drive prices for every single manufacturer, and how much they're affected and how they manage it depends on how they run their business. But for us, we're going to be seeing putting in a price increase in June, I think, just to try to play catch up with this.
And how difficult is that squeeze? Because on the one hand, I'm sure you don't want to price your product too high because you want people to buy it, but on the other hand, you have to cover your costs. I mean, is it difficult to plan that and gauge it? So it's just enough to cover costs, but not enough to lose too many customers.
Yeah, well, no one wants to pay more for anything, and what people probably don't realize is producers. They don't want to have to charge more, but in a situation where you're otherwise, I mean, the definition of staying in business is you're making money. So we have to buy X and process it for this amount of money, and then charge it for X plus Y plus a little extra to make a profit. And so we try to manage. First of all, we let our retailers know well in advance. And this is part of that outreach, actually. But secondly, we try to be reasonable, and we're not doubling our cost by any means. We're going to see about a 15% increase, but that's still a big chunk. And the thing is, like, all manufacturers are going to be doing this, so all chocolate is going to go up in price. Mm-hmm. The stuff that's mostly milk will not go up in price as much because it's mostly milk. But this is going to be across the board, and for some people, we realize that this is going to mean that they have to make a decision to have something else other than chocolate, and so it goes. We still try to keep our bars to a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, chocolate lovers in particular, love quality. So They make it a priority, don't they? They're willing to pay more for good quality.
What is not more expensive these days? I mean, it's not more expensive to listen to you because it's the CBC, but pretty much everything else is more expensive, and shockingly more expensive right now. We're in the process of building a house right now, and everything costs more money, and that's just how it goes. And with cacao, we've had a long ride of, in the 26 years we've been in business, our even with this increase, we'll not have seen a doubling of the price in total over those 26 years. Mm-hmm. So the price has been kind of due for some sort of weird correction, and this happens to be it. And it's just happening all at once, and is going to get worse.
In the meantime, Valentine's Day is 2 days off. Daniel, what are your popular sellers this time around?
Well, people always love our hearts, and that was a thing that really took off during COVID. That just kind of COVID resistance symbol. People love those, and the great thing is it's never the wrong day to tell someone you love them with a chocolate heart. It's like if you give your girlfriend chocolate Santa on December 26th, it's like she's not super impressed. But a heart even on February 15th is good, particularly if you give her one on February 14th as well. And we're doing a special seasonal bar for Valentine's, which is called Strawberry Feels. It's Feels, and it's got freeze-dried little strawberry crystals in it. And it's just nice to do something special for that as well.
Yeah, no kidding. How does Valentine's Day rank for you in terms of the seasons and sales?
Oh, it's definitely a big one, and it's very whereas Christmas is a big deal, and Easter, of course. They tend to be people's purchasing is spread out over a longer period, but Valentine's is just really a little tight moment of people going crazy over chocolate. And as you mentioned, roses and all those things are lovely, but people do like chocolate for Valentine's. It is to a certain extent like an expectation with a lot of people, and if you don't bring your game, you're in trouble.
You've been doing this for 26 years, you said, but I understand maybe you're going to move on and go post-chocolate? Post-chocolate,
that's a good way to put it, Gregor. We're in the process of putting together a deal with someone we really love who grew up and lives on Demonon and has absolutely fantastic ethics. She gets our business model. She gets what we try to do with the business beyond making a profit, and she's super excited about this as well. So that's kind of in the works, and we're going to be still kind of like entangled for a number of years just because of financing and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to getting all of this out of my head. And post chocolate is like spending more time in the woods, spending more time on my bike and kayak, and my partner and I just want to hang out. So.
Well, thank you for joining us, Daniel. Best of luck in retirement, and thanks for all the delicious chocolate as well.
You're very welcome. This is the best job in the world, and it's bittersweet leaving it. There's no question, but I'm focusing on the sweet part of it. So,
all the best, Daniel.
Thank you, Gregor.
Daniel Terry is co-founder of the Denman Island Chocolate Company. It's 29 minutes after 8 on Monday morning, February 12th. You still have 2 days to get ready for Valentine's Day, if you're so inclined. Stay tuned.